You know what nobody likes? They don't like it when prices are raised.
What did you just say?
And you know what? It is happening all over right now. And I'm not just talking about your local grocery store or your gas or anything like that, because that's happening worldwide. That's normal stuff. What about us gamers? Yeah, EA, Microsoft, you want to reel in a bit there? I know you're greedy companies and CEOs and all that stuff, but damn, you are just literally squeezing your consumers right now. I'm not even joking about that. For those of you who haven't heard, we're going to start with EA and we're going to move on to Xbox a little bit after that. But EA, as of right now, I think they're trying to start a new trend. And if this actually works for them, I am so scared for any Battle Pass live service game. Because guess what? EA is now taking their Battle Pass, which beforehand in Apex Legends, you could either buy with real money, or if you accrued enough of the Apex Legends like in-game coins, essentially, you could buy the next season's Battle Pass using that. It's very similar to what we see in games like Fortnite. Even the finals has it. But guess what now? Now, with the new season that will be coming up pretty soon, they are taking that single Battle Pass, they're now splitting it into 2 Battle Passes, but keeping the price for each one, and it comes out to a total of like $20 after tax or something like that for 2 Battle Passes, right? Which again, go away at the end of every season, creating all that FOMO and everything. And you cannot buy the Battle Pass with those coins that you've collected over the years or anything like that. So you have to use real money every single time. And yeah, how do you think the player reaction has been so far?
Did you eat a tree for right?
Yeah, not so good. So you can kind of see why people are saying, like, you know, boycott this game and all that kind of stuff, which I know it's kind of a meme at this point with the Apex Legends community, because they tried to do that, I believe, last year in August of all months, which funny enough is coming up this month. And they were like, don't play Apex for the entire month. And that completely failed. They had like their highest player count or something like that during a couple of those weeks. But now with all this Battle Pass shenanigans and abandoning the in-game coin currency and everything like that, this is going to go one of 2 ways. This either kills the game outright, or this works out in EA's favor so much that they make so much more money and every other game follows afterwards. I want to know everyone's opinion on this. Chat, you seen in the comments right now, if you're watching this as video, live stream, regardless, let me know your thoughts. What's going to happen? Is this going to kill Apex Legends, or is this going to make EA so much money that it just flops? Be realistic about your what you say though as well, because you have to remember, us online, we're the minority. Lemon, I want your initial thoughts and just reactions right now. What are your personal thoughts?
So my initial thoughts is this feels a lot like Netflix going after people sharing accounts, and everyone thought, oh yeah, Netflix, they're gonna crash and burn. This is it. Netflix is done, and they've had the best subscription numbers in a very long time.
Granted, they are the OG, so I mean, that's we could have said that about like Concord in our previous video and everything, where it was like, you know, if Concord had come out before Overwatch, would it have been doing much better and everything, yeah, right? But anyway, that's here nor there. Regardless, it would be really interesting to see what happens when this whole change takes place, because they have been completely silent on it. There's been no talk from developers. There's been no talk from EA or anything. They simply released this information, and they haven't said anything since. By the way, if you want to see what this looks like, this is what it looks like right now. So we've got free old here on the left, okay? And we've got free new. So you get 110 levels every season in the old one. The new one, because it's only half a season now, is 60 levels instead of 110. Free old, you got 200 Apex coins. And free new, you get 200 Apex coins, okay? So that stays the same. In the free old, you got 7 Apex packs, and you got 7 Apex packs in the free new. And then you get some epic character skin in the new version of this, a epic weapon skin, an epic standing emotes, and 2 times season rewards of free, which I guess says old in it next to it. I'm not sure why. Then we get into premium old and premium new. So every season you got 950 Apex coins in the old version. Now for premium new, which is only every half season, it costs $9.99. No coins being usable, okay? Then as you can see currently on screen, you get certain things like Apex coins, crafting materials, exotic shards, yada yada, you know the drill. Then you have the premium bundle old and the premium plus new. which costs you $19.99 to 20. So that is 60. That's another 60 levels, right? Instead of the 110 from beforehand, which cost 2,800 Apex coins. And you get 10 level skips. The old one gave you 25 level skips. And then again, you get the typical Apex coins, crafting materials, Apex packs, 2 legendary character skins, 1 legendary weapon skin, and 2 premium plus legendary character skin variants, and all legends playables during the battle pass duration. Wow, talk about nickel and diming your player base right there. And Bobby, I 100% agree with you. We need Apex to die so Titanfall 3 can rise. Because think about it, Apex replaced Titanfall. Titanfall had to die for this piece of crap game. And God, it just irks me to no end. But Lemon, if you can see this currently on the screen right now, what are your thoughts when you see this, besides it being overly complicated in my personal opinion? But damn.
Yeah,
remember when you just got to play a game and you just unlocked everything as you played? God.
It's linear.
I know.
It's too complex. It's too complex for me. I'm too old for this shit. No, I mean, I feel like this is a case of standard economics. They will push as much as they can to what the market supports. If this does well for them, this is going to,
become
leak out, for lack of a better phrase. Yeah, become the norm. Leak out, become the norm, and just take over the free to play and potentially pay to play. Like Concord.
If this works, this is going into Overwatch. This is going into Call of Duty. It's going everywhere. I already know it's going.
But I mean, it's just what the market supports. I mean, you mentioned earlier about minorities and about how we are this vocal minority bitching and moaning about these things, but the overall majority just don't seem to care.
Nope.
It doesn't bother them. It doesn't irks them enough to cause these developers, these publishers, to change what they're doing. And that, I think, is something that we, as the very loud minority, need to kind of internalize. But I think, to your point, I think this is a thing they're trying to do to eke out more money from this franchise.
Oh,
and now, for one of two reasons: one, they're not making enough money to appease the shareholders, or two, this is just them trying to eke out more money. I think both are valid. Apex is getting along the tooth, and I imagine it might be trending downwards, or in a way that seems to make the people looking at the numbers think it's trending downwards. It's kind of hard to know because they obviously would never talk about that. They would even in a shareholder meeting, they would never talk about such a thing.
Oh, yeah. What's really funny about this is that they had a tweet out about all the new the season 22 starts and everything, right? And it's funny because you talk to a lot of Apex players and they're just like, there's rampant cheating, there's rampant hacking, all that stuff, right? And there's like all this server stability issues that they're not fixing, yet they're doing this, right? Which again, we've seen this multiple times before. But according to EA, they said the decision to move from the coin system to real world currency is not one they made lightly. It also states that it does allow for us to decrease the price of Premium Plus for our community. The moment they posted that, it got community struck on Twitter, and it says, while Respawn claims the change is made through community feedback, it's obvious that this change is only profitable for EA shareholders. Consumers are forced to spend in real currency instead of in-game Apex coins. Which, again, just like you said, shareholders are not happy. They want more money, so what are they going to do? Break it all up into this mess right here. So...
Yep. I love community notes, by the way.
I do too. That's actually something good that I do like from it. So I will say this, whether you are a casual player of the game, you play this regular, or you're a streamer, right? The only way this does not continue going forward is if literally like 90% of you all drop this game. I'm talking streamers, which I know will take a hit in your revenue because especially if you play this every day, you'd have to get the tournament players not playing this, like go on strike essentially, which I know a lot of them will not do because that's their livelihood right there. You need the people who constantly play this game every day to not do that. Then things would actually change. But that's not going to be the case, unfortunately, right here. So I think this does get implemented, unfortunately. And speaking of companies just shitting on their player base, if you guys also happen to see earlier this week, Microsoft is raising Xbox Game Pass prices by up to 25%. And oh boy, the amount of people coming out and defending this, which is funny. Apex is not getting defended at all. Xbox Game Pass is getting defended to a degree. And I'm just like, can they not see that they are literally stomping and squeezing on their Xbox community for more money? And yet the PC Game Pass is not really changing much. For those of you who don't know, or if you didn't catch our initial video or anything like that, starting on July 10th, which is already past July 10th at the time of this particular recording, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate was going to jump from $16.99 to $19.99 per month, a $3 increase. The PC Game Pass is jumping to $11.99, so not too bad there. But the console version of Xbox Game Pass, so for the console only, which by the way includes all of those games that you can play via Game Pass, and day one for the new games, that is going away. Replacing it is going to be the standard tier, which is $14.99, which I believe is $5 more than the current console price right now, the console Xbox Game Pass. Not to mention, it still has access to all the other games, but no day one releases, which has like been the biggest thing for Game Pass. That's their big marketing thing. Brand new first person, shooter coming out, or brand new first party game coming out. Guess what? Play day one on Xbox. Can't do that anymore unless you have the ultimate version. And then they have their little core version, which is basically just like Xbox Gold, if I remember correctly, which is essentially just online, and you get some discounts. And you also get like 25 games or something like that you can play. Very similar to like what PlayStation Plus Essential has. Typical stuff right there. And I'm just like, holy crap. Because, and then they also emit things out like the Xbox Cloud and everything. That's only an Ultimate from what I understand. And it's just like, damn, you are squeezing your Xbox players for all this extra money. And then PC's just like a $2, $2 to $3 increase and everything. And they get to keep day one Game Pass, new games and everything like that. All the old games, EA Play, all that stuff. They get to keep all that. And I'm just kind of laughing whenever I see someone try to defend this. And I'm just like, I mean, if you know anything about business, we knew this was going to happen. Yeah, they said during the FTC hearings that buying Activision would not cause them to raise prices or anything. It wouldn't cause them to do all that. And we've seen the price go up twice or three times now, I think, over the last couple of years. And I 100% expect this to get a price increase after the new year starts next year, especially with Call of Duty, because I still think they're going to lose a decent amount of money.
Inflation.
Yeah,
I mean,
much.
this is bound to happen. I mean, I feel like, I think we're, kind of seeing the downward trend of subscription services across the board, across all media, right? It's a case of, everyone is doing poorly, not just, Xbox and video games. Netflix, which you mentioned earlier about how they had good subscription numbers, but as a whole, subscription services are just on the downward trend right now.
Oh yeah, Disney Plus, Hulu, all that stuff. Yeah, they're on the downward slide.
As someone who bought a Series X for Game Pass, that's probably 3 years ago now, towards the beginning of the pandemic, I'd say so 3 or 4 years ago. I really liked Game Pass when it came out for indie games. It was cool getting day one games, but it wasn't really kind of my thing. And over time, turned my Xbox on less and less and less. And I had a kind of electrical issue at my house where I would just have my breakers keep popping, and so I was kind of doing some stuff around the house. So I had my Xbox unplugged for about 2 months, never turned it on, and that was effectively 2 months of Game Pass I wasn't using. Didn't even feel like I needed it. So, and then about a couple months ago, I was looking at my bank account. I noticed that Microsoft decided to not tell me that my Game Pass subscription had lapsed. I did that whole chintzy kind of $2 upgrade thing from Gold, and I just canceled it right then and there. I was like, I'm not going to pay, was it the 17 or whatever it was at the time, a month.
Right.
And they emailed me a lot. I said, hey, are you sure you want to get rid of this? There's all these cool
Are you
games.
sure you want to and everything? Yeah.
They're still spamming. I feel like it's like Sirius XM over here. And I still don't feel like I need it again. There hasn't been a game or a set of games I've seen kind of pop up. It's like, hey, new month, here's the games. I've never felt compelled to re-up it. I can say the same about PlayStation Plus also, but they're not begging for money like Microsoft is. Game Pass was their kind of flag in the sand. This is what we're doing. And it's clearly not panning out for them. So now they got to raise money to try to keep that going. But like you mentioned, they're going to probably raise it again in the near future. There is no kind of plan forward anymore for them.
I think so too.
That's it.
And you mentioned about how they just charged you because you forgot about it, right? There's probably a lot of people still subscribe to subscription services, and then all of a sudden they get the bill and they're just like, wait, why did this go up this much? Or why is my bank account losing this money or anything like that, right?
100%. 100%. There's actually services that are designed to look, I don't know how they do it. It seems very sketchy to me. They will somehow figure out, hey, you're subscribed to all these things. We'll help you unsubscribe. It's like, that's how invasive it is. Yep. It's by design. They did not tell me.
Oh yeah, no, it's all marketing. It's all by design. Yeah, exactly. They 100% want to do that.
For sure. I just don't feel compelled to play Game Pass though, and that I think is a very common sentiment people have. So the subscription goes down, so you get to raise the price to kind of amortize the price of this service. Yeah. So the way it's going to go.
So and it is unfortunate because I think there are still, and not everyone, by the way, whenever I say this, and to Jacob's comment here in the chat about don't defend it. I personally think this increase sucks, but we're not defending it. I'm not saying everyone's defending it, but go into any comment section on social media, on YouTube videos, or anything when it comes to this particular topic right here, and you will see people defending it. You're going to do the typical thing of it's only a $2 price increase per month, and I still get all these games and everything like that. And I'm like, do you not see what they're doing though? First off, they're trying to push everyone to Ultimate, right? That's what they want to do. Which again, I guess business, yada yada stuff, right? But what they're also doing is that they're gonna keep squeezing the Xbox people, right? They're gonna keep pushing it to get you to jump up to the next level, keep paying more money and everything like that. Because what you need on Xbox is you need at least the core to play any of your games online, whether you've bought them or deals or anything. In order to play games online, thanks Xbox, by the way, who started this, who then got PlayStation to do it, who then got Nintendo to do it, you have to pay for online. Where on PC is you don't, which is why I love PC. But then you look at it and you go like, okay, so core is only this amount. If I just bump it up and if I just throw in an extra $5, I can get up to standard. But wait, I still don't get day one games. So what if I bump it up another $5? I give them an extra $5, and then all of a sudden I'm able to, get all the day one games. And all of a sudden you went from simply paying $9.99 a month to $20 now. Now what happens down the road? Let's say after Call of Duty comes out and it's next year in February, and Microsoft comes up to them and goes, yeah, suck it up, Xbox, we're raising the prices again. Because guess what? Daddy Microsoft gets the final say. And this is what they're going to do, especially when you give, the Xbox head, Phil Spencer, $100 billion to buy all these, companies and everything like that. And that's, by the way, that's just combining everything from Activision to ZeniMax to all that stuff and all the extra stuff. Right? I'm simply locking it all in, throw some taxes on there, the drill essentially. Guess what? He's going to come in and say like, yeah, raise the prices again. So now that $20 a month that you were paying for the Ultimate version, if you got sucked into doing that due to how they, make everything, now, if they raise it another $3 to $4, heck, even $5 for some of these subscription services sometimes, now you're paying $25 a month. And for anyone who potentially comes in and just wants to do it to get, their access to Call of Duty and everything like that, are you really telling me that you're going to pay, the yearly Game Pass subscription? No, you're going to buy it for like a couple of months and then get your fix. If for someone who only plays Call of Duty, you're just going to buy the game outright, right? But if you're kind of more in the middle, you're someone who likes to play the Call of Duty, but you only play it for a couple months, they're going to start canceling the subscriptions, and everything, right? And because no one's going to sit around here and say, oh, I'm going to pay $200 and what did it come out to? $240, $260 or something like that for just Call of Duty. Because again, I'm talking about those players who play nothing but Call of Duty. I'm not talking about the people who actually would take advantage to be able to play other games and everything like that. They're only going to play Call of Duty. No one's going to do that. Absolutely nobody is going to do that. So again, it's typical inflation business stuff. Businesses need the numbers to keep going straight up. He's the shareholders. I saw this price increase coming a mile away, but I just find it funny that everyone was like, see, they're not going to raise the prices after the whole, FTC hearing and all this stuff. And then boom, we've already got a couple of price increases, and it's going to keep going up. It is going to keep going up. Heck, Netflix just had one recently. Disney Plus had one recently. So keep expecting prices to keep going up and up for for this subscription service. My question though is, what is enough for everybody who is here right now live with us, or if you're seeing this later on as a video? What is the max you will pay? Let's say you are a Ultimate subscriber right now, right? And you're like, okay, $2 increase, totally fine. What is the max that they would need to raise it to for you to actually quit? I am actually generally curious about that. And I'm going to put a poll later on our community tab and over on Twitter and all the social media pages. I want to know, what is the max price that you would pay for something like Ultimate before you're like, nah, unsubscribing, done? I would love to know. I actually want to see that data. That'd be so cool to see. Lemon, what about you? Let's say you were subscribed to it still, because I think you said you let it
let it lapse. 0. I don't want it again. At the end of the day, they haven't provided value to me anymore.
And I've actually seen a lot of people point that out as well. It's like, the functioning idea of Game Pass is really amazing. It really is, right? But Xbox hasn't had a consistent flow of these first-party games releasing. And when we saw certain games come out, like Hellblade 2 and everything, that didn't move the needle at all. That was supposed to be their big game in May. And we actually have an article right here about it, which I guess we'll just simply lump in right here. It hit woeful sale records in May. Now, granted, it's on Game Pass. It is not your typical type of game. It's only 5 hours. Yes, it is $50, but there's like literally no marketing around it. And a lot of people, it didn't exactly have the greatest word of mouth. But when you look at that and say, like, why should I be paying into a subscription service, aka Xbox Game Pass, when this is supposed to be the big game and it's got a lot of controversy around it, right? They're not having a consistent flow of these games to come out that would make you want to keep subscribing to the service. Yeah, you've got things like Bobby's mentioning here about eBay or CD keys and everything like that, but a lot of people don't know to actually do that. They don't. They just insert credit card. That's all they do, right? So, like I said, there's no consistent, amount of games, right? You don't have like a big first-party game coming out every couple of months or every 3 months or something like that. You just don't. I mean, last year, there was the whole Redfall and Starfield. Starfield, that definitely has not kept good word of mouth recently. Redfall was dead on arrival, pretty much, and that game is literally dead now. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, yeah, I don't think they can make this comeback. I mean, I still laugh at everyone saying like, oh, we're gonna get a new Crash Bandicoot, we're gonna get a new Tony Hawk and everything. I'm sitting here going, no, you're not. I'm sorry, you're not. They are gonna 100% dive straight into all of the Call of Duty stuff.
If Microsoft planned this out a bit better, 5 odd years ago when they started this buying spree, they would have lined up a set of developers and they would take the Netflix path of having a whole lot of exclusive games that were not expensive to make, like AAA range, I would say, right? And they would just stuff it, Game Pass full of these games, just constant trickle of these games. That is what you have to do, because Netflix found that kind of, fountain is not the right word, obviously, but just kind of that fountain of content. Right. The reason why people keep coming back. Right. Because the money is in building your own stuff and releasing it. That's where the money's at, not buying other people's games. That is the absolute money pit, and I'm sure Microsoft's now finding that out.
Oh, they're finding out the hard way. They're absolutely finding that out.
The problem is they either through mismanagement or, I don't know, mismanagement is the easiest, the low-hanging fruit here. No one's producing anything. Either because the studios themselves are just incapable of handling themselves. They don't have they're used to publishers pushing and pushing and pushing. Microsoft is like, whatever, do whatever you want. It's a party here. There's a very clear lack of planning, and we're seeing the end result of that.
And we talk about it a bunch here, and just because I know it's the norm in a lot of areas, but especially Microsoft, take it to the next level, is probably a combination of also how they deal with their contract workers and all that stuff. I mean, look at it, how Halo Infinite turned out. That was definitely part of the whole contract working thing. Definitely did not help that game particularly. So, but yeah, no, like you said, Xbox is, or I guess Microsoft technically now, they are finding out, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done this or to this extent, because the plan was to get something like Call of Duty onto Game Pass. And what I'm sure some of those higher ups do not want that. I mean, heck, the fact that old Activision CEO said, no, we don't want Call of Duty on a subscription service, and they're stuck, and Microsoft is stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's like, well, you either put it on there and raise prices, and if this does not work out the way they want to, this is kind of like their final Hail Mary. If this doesn't work out the way they want to, what do? Do you take Call of Duty off Game Pass, or do you keep it on there and keep losing money? I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I have my own theories already, but I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think this is going to lose them money? Do you think they would take it off if they did lose money? Because obviously we can't look into the future yet. But if they lost money, do you think they'd take it off Game Pass?
Well, I'm of the mind, I don't think Call of Duty sales are the big money maker. I think Warzone's their money maker with Call of Duty. Full stop. I think right now, though, Microsoft, well, or specifically Xbox division, Microsoft is operating like a startup. Absolute money burn. And they've been doing it for so long now. And like you mentioned, this is the Hail Mary. There's, with all startups across, any whole sector of tech, because it's a very good indicator in Xbox's tech, hardcore money burn, and there's a certain point where it's a make or break. If you don't not make it here, you're done. You fold. And the whole point is to get bought out. That's kind of the what you do with startups. It's all about getting bought out by someone else. Microsoft, sorry, I keep saying Microsoft. Xbox is in a special position where there is no buyout. They have to do the startup model, which they've been running on, absolute money burn, hoping to have that Hail Mary, and it has not come yet, and now they're in free fall. Call of Duty, regardless of what happens here with Game Pass, is not going to save Game Pass. I generally believe we're watching the demise of Game Pass at this point. I do not expect it to be going on a couple years from now. It just doesn't. They do not have the games lined up. They don't know what they're doing with it, and now they're splitting it up. Like after spending the last 5 years trying to combine them all together, they're splitting it back up again. Like, there's a very clear lack of leadership going on here.
Oh, there is. There absolutely. I mean, we've been saying that for a while now. When it comes to the whole leadership thing, it's clear there is a huge lack of it.
Top brass is coming in and saying, "All right, the party's over. Cops got called, and now there's too many kids drinking alcohol. They're gonna arrest a lot of people. We need to fix this stuff. We need to start hiding the rum. We need to clean this place up. Like this, it really is like people are." I generally believe heads are going to start rolling here soon. Money burn has been too long. They're not seeing anything coming back. Like, I just don't see where this is going to go. We're not seeing games coming out of Game Pass anymore. Full stop.
100%.
It's frustrating.
100%
agree
right
now.
I 100%. 100% agree. I mean, especially when you see also that Xbox sales are in the can right now, essentially.
Because they told us we don't need to buy Xbox. They told us, no, stream it. Go use a fucking Fire Stick. What? Come on, guys. Like, this is ridiculous. They're genuinely trying to torpedo themselves with any plan that sticks because they don't have a plan. They are literally, it's just a dartboard and they're just throwing things at this point. Xbox is not in a good position. It pisses me off immensely. This is why it pisses me off. Because Sony needs competition. Now they don't have it anymore, and now we're in the Ken Kutaragi days of ego. I'm pissed. I need Xbox to be good so we have competition. Competition is good for me, the consumer. And now we don't have it anymore. I'm pissed.
The weird thing is that Tango got closed, but not 343. I'm sure 343's got some kind of like deal going on that keeps them around because they also know that they think that Halo is still their big game and everything when Halo has been so basically obsolete, unfortunately. Halo's amazing, but in this current day and age, Halo is obsolete. Let's just be perfectly
343 is
honest.
nepotism. It's filled with a bunch of crony, like old school Microsoft cronies, had no business being in game design and got thrown into it. Why? That's exactly why we see it acting as such a terrible studio. They're not a game studio. It's ran by a bunch of office people. Office as in the application, not the location, right? They're a bunch of Excel people or PowerPoint people. They do that. It's frustrating.
I love this rant. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Because I wanted it so badly to be good.
I know, right?
I was sold on the dream, and the rug's getting pulled out from under me, and it really bums me out.
Dude, I really wish Halo. I
wish Halo Infinite was good. I wish Gears of War would come out eventually. I was hoping for a Banjo 3. I was just like, I was told there's going to be a lot of fun games, and there has not been a lot of fun games. There's just been a lot of disappointments, and I'm bummed. Well, that's another thing, too, because I would have my Game Pass subscription. I'm still buying the same amount of games I always had. Why? Because those games I want to play are not on Game Pass. So I'm losing money, and I'm still not getting value out of it, because all the games I want to play aren't on Game Pass. I think Persona 4 might be the last Game Pass game I actually played through, which was, I think, last...
Yeah. Well, and why else do you think the meme still is that Xbox gamers don't buy their games.
No, why should they?
They should
I
not.
know,
I know.
That's a literal thing. I think it's very intentional that they did not put a disk drive on the new Series X.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no,
I
it is.
never put a disc into my Series X that wasn't a Blu-ray movie or show. It's effectively my Blu-ray player at this point because I don't want to take the disc out of my PS5. I'm still playing that game, but I'm not playing a disc game on my Series X. Yep. I'm playing a Game Pass game.
I'm sure Bobby's laughing right now as he's watching this. He's like, yes.
I'll just get a kick out of this.
Yeah, Bobby is 100%
aping his
100% getting a kick out of it. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. Or if you played enough during that season and you accrued? Yeah. Accrued. That's what it is. Okay. Editors, cut. You know the drill.
No, I don't think I will.